everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. In this video we will be starting the first part of a hopefully 4-part series of a Halloween color along for the month of October. So how I'm hoping this will go is I'm hoping to be able to record a picture in 4 parts, so I can release the first part the first week of October, the second part the second week of October, and so on. I was actually hoping to be able to color a Jasmine girl as well and have 2 Halloween color alongs going on. I don't have Jasmine's Halloween book, but I do have her original book, which has enough kind of spooky type themed pictures. There's lots of skeletons, lots of pumpkins and such, little witches. But maybe next year, because I know I'm definitely not going to be able to color a whole lot in that book within the next year. I'm too busy. I have too much stuff on the go, between paintings that I have to get done for Christmas and my New Year's goal. I just don't think I'll have the time, so we're just going to stick to my favorite artist, and that is, of course, Lynn, as you probably know because she takes up most of my YouTube channel. So I was flipping through this book last night and I just could not pick an image. There's just so many beautiful pictures that I still want to color and would love to color for October. But I decided to take my top 6 pictures in this book and I posted them as options in the Hannah Lynn group. So anybody who is interested could vote for which picture they wanted me to do. And Dia de los Muertos won by a long shot, which I'm actually pretty excited for because this was my absolute favorite. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do it yet, but thank God that this book has double pages, otherwise I would definitely not do this. I'd probably save it because, like I said, it's my absolute favorite. I don't want to ruin it. So I'm pretty excited that we're going to be doing this picture. I don't know if I said already, but I apologize for my voice. I can hear it kind of starting to get gravelly. It's early in the morning, and it's usually the worst around then. I'm still fighting off this throat thing, whatever it is. So anyways, once I realized that this picture was going to be the most requested, I started going through the albums in the Hannah Lynn group, and oh my gosh, there's just so many beautiful images. I would love to show you guys. I'm going to get in touch with a few of my favorite artists that colored this page, and hopefully I can showcase them maybe in the final part of this color along. But it's just going through trying to get ideas, trying to see how everybody colored her, like especially her face, because I love the idea of having half with the mask white and then the rest of her skin normal, but I just wasn't sure how to color all these little details. And then the other thing I really could not figure out was her hair color. I originally wanted to do black hair, but black hair is probably the hardest, and I myself definitely need more practice with it. So I really don't want to attempt doing black hair on this image. I actually have done black hair in here before. Let's see if I can find it here. And I don't think it turned out half bad. Ah, yes, right here. It didn't turn out too bad, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I wanted a black with a little bit more blue highlights for her, and I don't know how to do that yet, so I'm gonna have to practice with that. So the next thing I did then was play around with hair colors, and I originally was thinking maybe doing, whitish gray hair. But that's a really hard hair color to pull off because half the time it looks like it makes them look really old, and I want her to look young and youthful. So I decided that probably wasn't the best idea. So then finally I decided on teal, aqua kind of hair, kind of like pastel. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. I absolutely loved how that turned out, and I think it'll look perfect on her. I already know that I want these roses to be black roses with blue highlights because those are my absolute favorite. Hannah actually finished a trading card recently with my absolute favorite looking roses, so I'm going to try to base these roses off of that. I will try to include a picture of them in here. And then for her mask, a lot of people had multicolored face paint on her, and where some of them I loved, others I didn't so much. Like, it didn't speak to me. So I think for the most part I'm going to try to keep her face paint black, or not black, sorry, well, maybe a little bit of black, gray, white, and then I'm thinking maybe purple, because that should really go with her hair, but we'll have to play that by ear and see. For the first part, we're just going to do her hair, and then I think next time we'll work on the skin, and then maybe then we'll do all these little details and stuff, and then the final part we'll just do the background and then touch-ups and finishing touches and stuff. So I think this picture will work perfectly for our 4-part goal. Hold on one second, I need a sip of tea here. I am surprised I haven't lost my voice yet. So I stuck my pencils in the ring of my book because I didn't want my kitty knocking them off last night, and I didn't want to put them away either. So the pencils, as always, will be listed at the beginning of the video, so you will have already seen which ones I'm going to be using. And so now I'm just quickly going to just sharpen them up a little bit. And without further ado, because we're already over 5 minutes into this, sorry guys, I apparently talk too much. We are going to get started. So, where are my cards here? Let me just get these organized. So another reason that the grayish white hair kind of stood out to me is I'd really like to try taking white paint or a white Jelly Roll pen or something and putting in white streaks, maybe getting rid of all the black in her hair and just having all the black be white highlights instead. But I don't really want to ruin the image, and I figured with this blue hair I could probably do the same thing. And since I really want to try that, what I usually do if I'm unsure about trying something is I will, I'll color the picture first, and then pretty much finish everything, take a picture of it, and then I will try that something new. So that way if I do ruin the page or if I don't like it, I still have a picture that I can put up of the before I messed it up. And then, I don't know, that just kind of gives me a little bit more confidence, because at that point, to me, it doesn't matter if it's wrecked, because if I do wreck it, I'm the only one that's going to see it. Well, you guys are too, because I am going to attempt that. But I'm going to leave that for the final touches after I take my picture of my finished piece. And then if I do like it, I'll just take a new picture of my new finished piece. So I'm just lightly going in with the parrot green here, and I'm just coloring all the tips and then using some long flicking motions, bringing my pencil upwards. If you're not comfortable about doing that yet, I would recommend practicing on a piece of paper. It's a fairly easy technique as long as you have some good control over your pencil, then it's not too hard to do. Another thing that you'll notice is I'm not holding my pencil up here like I usually do. I usually only hold my pencil like this if I'm using a medium or firm pressure. But since I'm using light pressure and I want my pencil to be able to move more, like here, you're really limited with your movement. You'd have to move your hand more. Whereas if you hold your pencil back a ways, you have a lot more movement. And it's just more comfortable, and I find that your pencil flows a little bit better, especially when you're doing these flicking motions. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Now you guys are probably pretty used to me doing sections of hair at a time, but I think I might, you know, second guess myself on this. But I think I'm going to do all of her hair at once instead of doing different sections. But we'll see, I might change my mind on that. And I have to say, just with this little bit of parrot green in here, I am loving this already. I think it is speaking to me. I actually had a friend who had a really light teal aqua colored hair for quite a while. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I wish I had the nerve to do something like that with my hair, but I don't even really dye my hair anymore. And I'm sure my hair thanks me for it too, because it used to be really unhealthy and now I'm getting it back to where it's fairly healthy again. Now it's just too long. I don't know if some of you guys might have me on Facebook, so some of you might, you know, be able to creep through my pictures, and I have pretty long hair. It's getting pretty close to being, it's more than halfway down my back now. And because it's so long, I kind of now have a love-hate relationship with it. It's just a lot of maintenance. Okay, I'm going to quickly look at a reference picture because I'm pretty sure all of this in here is hair, but I want to be 100% sure, so I will be right back. Okay, so that's definitely hair, and I just had a little bit of a coughing fit, and now my voice sounds absolutely ridiculous. Which is really annoying because I've had this for probably a week now. Maybe not quite, almost a week. And I feel myself getting better, like my throat feels a lot better today than it did yesterday. And yet every time I cough, my voice goes all funny. Hopefully only a couple more days. Okay, now what about this little spot here? Anybody color that as hair? Are you okay? Carbon?
Yeah.
You all good?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know.
Okay.
My phone control.
I'm almost done with your phone. Sorry, honey, I'm just using it as a reference.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to color in that little bit there and probably this little bit here. But I'm going to maybe leave this corner and these two triangles maybe. So they don't quite look like hair to me. In fact, I think this little part here on this side is probably her arm. I could be wrong, but hopefully it doesn't look funny. So now you'll notice that I'm holding my pencil closer to the tip. And that's because with these smaller little curls here, I want a little bit more control of where the pencil's going to go. I find it's always a lot easier to decipher what different aspects in a picture are if you're looking at a colored version. You know, there's just something about a black and white image that can get a little confusing, but then as soon as you see it in color, it just suddenly makes sense.
Okay, you're playing it to me. Playing it to me.
Okay, so I think that's it for her hair. Well, I don't mean we're done, but I think I've covered all of it with the parrot green. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get a sharp point on my pencil. And I'm going to go back through, but with a firmer pressure. I'm constantly rotating my pencil because I want to try and keep a point on here for as long as possible. You just gotta walk towards the door to get out of there, kiddo.
How do? I don't know what it is. I have so many books, and it's usually only if I'm coloring in Hannah's that I can really stay into it. It's just something about coloring hair and skin and clothes. It's just very satisfying. Okay, I'm losing my point a little bit here.
but I don't really want to sharpen it again. But I might have to. I usually have this little, oh, there it is. This came in a little sketch set that I got a while back, and it's just a little block of sandpaper. So you can use it for cleaning off your paper blending stumps, or for getting a point back on a pencil without sharpening it. And it works fairly good. Oh, sorry guys, didn't realize that you couldn't see that. Okay. So next we are going to move on to Aquamarine. And we're pretty much just going to do the same thing. Oh, and I guess that broke on me. And it broke again. I'm thinking this is one of the pencils that my kitty cat knocked off my desk the other day that my son picked up. Oh, it just won't stop breaking. It's very sad. So I finally got a point on it. It's pretty small now, which is always lovely, but thankfully this is one that I bought in open stock, so I already have another spare of this. The one I wish I could find, this is the light green. And this is probably my absolute favorite pencil. It's pretty small compared to most of my pencils. I use this one quite a bit too, but I try not to use this one because I cannot find it in open stock, and it is damn expensive on Amazon too. So anyways, going in with our Aquamarine, I'm just going to do the same thing. And I'm not going to take the Aquamarine too far down from where we put the peacock blue, just because the Aquamarine and, or not peacock blue, sorry, parrot green. The Aquamarine and the parrot green are so similar in color, but I just worried that the parrot green was a little too green, so I just wanted to go over it with the Aquamarine just to kind of make it a little bit more blue.
So I'm really liking this hair color so far. Again, I'm constantly rotating my pencil so I can try and keep a decent point on the end. Try not to use it straight up and down, kind of on a side. Yep. A little bit of blue outside the lines there. So these little curly bits are the hardest to make look textured, like put hair strands in. Just because of the way they curl, it can be very, very tricky. So for the most part, I'm just going to follow the direction of the curls as much as I can, but regardless, sorry, you can't even see that, oh my gosh. Regardless, they are going to look messy. Hopefully this light isn't bugging the camera too much. It's the sunlight, not my light, so we kind of got a little bit of a weird shadow here. I think that kind of helps a little bit. Okay. So next we are on to, what is going to bother me? The light aqua. And again, we're going to do the same thing, except instead of going from the very tips, we're just going to go from about halfway. Okay, so I can't remember if I was talking before my camera cut off, but thankfully I caught it. So just going from about halfway from where we put the light aqua. We're just going to keep putting in some pencil strokes here. I don't know why, but that feels really rough. Where's a piece of paper? Have you guys ever noticed that sometimes, I don't know, it almost feels like there's a rock in your pencil, or just like something like really hard, and it like scratches your paper? I've gotten that a few times and it is very annoying. So we're going to try to leave quite a bit of white where we can for the most part, because we still have 2 more colors, one of which is white, but hi, pretty kitty, what you doing? Aww, you having fun? So if you still have some white spots close to where the tips are, you can go in with the light aqua and kind of try and fill them up a bit. We'll probably go in one more time with our darkest colors anyways, just to kind of really make the hair strands stand out. These little strands here, I'm just going to try and completely fill in. They're going to be fairly dark. Same with these ones here. I apologize for the shadows, but there's not really much I can do about that. So I'm not going to speed this part of the video up, sorry, but just because I don't know if you guys would want me to or not, but if you guys could let me know whether you'd rather have parts like this where it's like really repetitive and just with one color, if you'd rather me speed them up a little bit, let me know and then I can in the future, but for now I'll leave it how it is. And yeah, if you guys could just let me know, that'd be great. Where are you? like she somehow got in the drawer or something. Okay, so I'm liking that. So next we're going to go in with our light green. And for the most part, we're going to go right from the tips and up. Because I really want to get that green color in here. Right now it's looking really nice, but it's not looking as green as I want it to. And this light green is going to kind of make it look like a pale green. And I think that's bringing the color out just beautifully. Hi, Angel. What's up?
Angel.
I don't know where the kitty is. She's somewhere in here. You just leave her alone for now, though, okay? He absolutely loves his kitty, but sometimes I think he drives her a little crazy. Okay, I'm just going to get a tip back on my pencil here. Okay. So I'm really liking how this is turning out. Let's see, I want to go back in with the peacock green here. So make sure I have a really sharp tip. Phone call from my hubby, and now we're back. So with the parrot green, I'm just going to go back in and just make sure all the tips of the hair are colored in and just put a little bit more lines in. I am holding the pencil a little bit closer to the tip just because I'm using a firmer pressure. I really want to get those hairlines in here. for these curls here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that any little bit of hair that looks like it's behind more hair. You're hungry? Yeah, because it's almost lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mommy's going to make lunch here right away. I'm going to make you some pierogies. That's what you wanted, right? Okay. You go play for now. I'm almost done, and then we're going to make lunch, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You're welcome. So I'm just going to darken up any little bits of hair that are behind more hair. I'm still going to try to use that stroking motion for the most part. But I just want to make sure that the color is in there. Okay, so I think that is totally it for the peacock green. Now we are going to go in a little bit with the aqua. Or aquamarine, I suppose. And we are going to do the exact same thing. Just put in some more strands of hair here. Don't worry if you get some that are really dark like this one. It kind of looks out of place. But once we go in with the white, and my plan is to pretty much burnish everything with the white. Kind of knock it back and make it look even more pastel than it already is. And you could skip that part if you want. The only reason that I am doing that is because, like I said, I want to try going in with... I wish my Posca pen was here already, but it's not. So I'll probably end up going in with some acrylic paint. And I will probably just add in some white lines just all over the place. And I feel like if the hair is more of a pastel green, greenish aqua, then the white will just blend in a little bit better and it will just look better. Can you please not touch stuff? No, I put a movie on for you. That's what you were watching. Now stop touching my stuff, please. Out. You little poop. After your movie. You said you wanted to watch that movie. You can watch it. Oh, gotta love those 3-year-old tantrums. In his defense, he's still recovering from his strep throat, though. And he's very, very agitated with being stuck in the house. So, if you don't plan on putting any white streaks in her hair, and you like it the way that it's already looking, then you just go ahead and you keep it that way. Because if I'm being honest, I really like how this is looking too. But I really want to try putting white in her hair because I just feel like this is the picture that would look good on. So I gotta try it sometime. Okay, and again for the curls, I'm just going to put some random dark lines in the direction that the curls are going, just wherever I can. Curls are definitely something that I struggle with coloring. I don't do them often enough to really know what I'm doing, so I will be honest with you guys, I'm just kind of winging them and hopefully they look okay. Alright, so that's it for the aquamarine. Now back to the light aqua. Now I'm not going to do too much with this one. I will put just a few strokes in each hair, each strand of hair I should say. But I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm not going to bother touching the curls because I feel like they're a little too dark already, so I'll still go back in with the light green, and I hate sharpening this pencil. I really wish I could find it in open stock somewhere. So, with the light green, we're just going to go in and kind of fill in any of the white. Aside from the highlights, we're going to leave some white in the highlights. But any white spots near the ends or on the sides that you can see. Other than that, just random hair strands. Okay. I think for the most part we can go over the highlights too. I'm liking this for a highlight color. And there, in mine anyways, there's probably going to be enough white after I put that in. I don't really need white highlights, but if you want to keep your highlights white, then I wouldn't go over the highlights with the light green. You be nice to her. One thing I just realized, as I was saying earlier, that I'll probably go in and put the white in her hair after I finish everything else, just so I can have a before picture in case I ruin it. But her eyelash is going to be a problem. Because if I put white in her hair, I'm going to have to go over her eyelash. But I suppose what I'll probably do is I'll probably just use black pencil on her eyelashes to make them darker for the first picture. And then after I go in and put the white in, I'll just go back over with some acrylic paint over her eyelashes to make them dark again. Okay. And this next part I am going to speed up because all I'm going to do is pretty much use this white as a burnisher or a blending pencil, if you will. So that part will be sped up, and then after that, then that completes her hair. So here's her hair finished. Right now on my phone, the white kind of made her hair look very one-dimensional, but you can see that it still has all the strands in there. It still looks very 3D in person, and I'm hoping that it will look even more so once I get the white in there, but even if I wasn't hesitant or nervous on adding the white, I'd still have to wait anyways because that needs to be one of the last things that gets done. So it's got to be one of the final details, which is usually white highlights and then black outlines and such. So anyways, that concludes part 1 of the tutorial. My little kitty's trying to get into stuff. So next week we will be doing her skin, and I'm going to have a little think and play around with colors and such, and we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm pretty certain that this is going to turn out how I want it. At least I'm hoping so anyways. So I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, and I would love to see this if you're following along, so maybe we should come up with a hashtag. So that way if you post your work on Facebook or Instagram, you can use the hashtag so myself and others can see it. I will come up with something and I will probably put it on the video somewhere here. So if you're following along, just use whatever hashtag I come up with, and I would love to see your work. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.